think we're nearly there, mate.
Sweet. Press record.
Oh, it's going already.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just edit that bit out there. Here I am with the 2014 Adventurer of the Year, Sean Conway. And Sean has just broken a world record, and it is from Land's End to John O'Groats.
Sailing from Land's End to John O'Groats. That was a crazy 83 hours and 53 minutes.
83 hours, 53 minutes.
Which is 15 hours slower than we were hoping. So the record's totally doable. If anyone wants to break it, it's up for grabs. Go for it.
Matt Dix, get on your sailing boat and have a go at that, mate. How much sleep did you get?
You know what, there was 3 of us on board, so which is one more than you probably needed. You probably only needed 2 for that crew, for that sail, but actually it was a friend of mine who had the idea, and he just needed a third person to help out, make it a bit easier. So I mean, you get quite a lot actually, like 4 or 5 hours a night, 4 hours a night probably. So it's actually quite a lot. I mean, because normally you're only getting about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah.
You've done so many challenges, mate. My mate Hugh Phillips is well impressed, and he was the person that put me onto you straight away. He said,
"Thank you, Hugh."
Hugh Phillips, you're the man. Check this man out. And then one of the things that really impressed me, obviously I do a little bit of ultra distance running. There's people that do Ironmans and things like that. Your flipping triathlon, mate. You swam the length of Britain.
Yeah.
You ran the length of Britain. And you cycled the length of Britain.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you how far I would have got if I would have got in that sea. I would be fish food right now after the first 500 meters. I'd be under.
Mate.
How were you always a good swimmer in school?
No, I mean I had to swim at school because that was you had to. It was compulsory, so I knew how to do all the strokes, but I had no sea swimming experience. But you know, all that was all sort of the sideline stuff, because actually the real sort of reason I finished the swim wasn't my swimming ability. It was just the belief that I knew this swim was possible, and that belief was much more of a positive thing than just being a good swimmer. You know, you can be the best swimmer in the world, but if you don't believe it, you're going to fail. So you know, a rubbish swimmer who really believes it and has that passion and all that sort of thing to prove a point and to prove people wrong, because many people said it wasn't possible, is way stronger than your sort of skill, I guess.
So a lot of it is down to belief in yourself.
Totally. Confidence, resilience, not giving up, not listening to the naysayers, don't let the buggers get you down. You know, and that was it. You know, that was the thing that kept me going in the times of tough, you know.
I can't believe that you had any naysayers, mate. Is that really? Did people say you couldn't have been done? But the thing is, what you had achieved had never ever been done before. So the odds on, you weren't a champion swimmer from school, and so they were like, "This is impossible."
And you know what? Actually, now that I've sailed it yesterday, I can see why. You know, I had no seagoing experience, and I really didn't know what I was expecting. So part of it was naivety, which works in my favour. And, you know, actually, because sailing it this week kind of made me just realise, wow, I swam this? Gee. You know, the bays we would sail across yesterday were huge. But I seem to remember when I swam it, they just didn't seem that big. But I guess, you know, 4.5 months at sea, 900-mile swim, a 3-mile bay, which is massive. It's like wider than central London. In the grand scheme, is actually quite a small bay. So I think just your perspective changes, you know.
It's insane, mate. It's insane, but good insane. I'm inspired. I'm not inspired by this man. I started to grow my own little ginger beard here. It's not quite up to Sean's standard, but
you got another 2 years, mate. I had my 2-year beard anniversary 3 days ago.
And you started this because you're getting. We'll get onto this in a minute. Stung by jellyfish, but it is a well-known fact that people with ginger in their beard are much better in bed. Can you confirm that fact? Can you confirm that?
No comment.
Well, you were jellyfish. You were getting stung in the face, so you thought.
Well, I didn't think. I just realised when mine was about your length, I wasn't feeling the pain as much.
Yeah.
And I soon realised that actually I'd get stung and I'd see the tentacles stuck on the outside of my facial hair, and they weren't touching the skin. So job done. So I thought, right, that's it. I'm going to just grow it big from then on. And then I realised it gave me superpowers.
You got superpowers like Superman, mate.
Not quite, but yeah.
One of the things that I like about Sean is he's just very down to earth. We just met up, you know. It was far more important people than me, but he sort of met up with me, and we're in just at the back end of Regent Street having a beer, and my mate Matt, he has a question.
What does Matt have to say? Matt
has to say, you went from going from the security of leaving your job or your business to doing all these adventures. It's a big scary thing for most people. How do you get your head around that when you haven't got like 5 million quid?
Yeah, so I had £1 to my name because I sold my business for £1. But you know what? You don't. Firstly, when you find your passion, you don't need as much money to be happy. And secondly, you know, I was so miserable in life. The life I'd given myself and made for myself, I was so miserable. I had nothing to lose by just going all in for something crazy. And so in a way it was easy for me because I really had no other option. I feel bad for the people who are a bit comfortable but not necessarily unhappy, but aren't happy, you know. Comfort kills ambition, and those are the people I worry about, you know. And for me it was a bit easier because I really was at rock bottom, so I just needed to do anything. So I cycled to Australia and back.
Just a little old jaunt to Australia and back. Do you know what? That's really significant what you said there about comfort kills ambition. So I was with a former girlfriend. We had a big house, one of the nicest areas in my sort of place. I was like, shit, man, I'm getting really comfortable.
Yeah.
And then, but the relationship didn't end up. She's a lovely girl. All my girlfriends, they're all lovely girls. They've got all good stuff to say about them, all my ex-girlfriends. But I was just comfortable. And for example, there's no way I would be talking to you. There's been no way I'd be talking to some of the amazing people I've been talking to lately. You know, I was just Mr. Comfortable. So that's, you think that comfort is a massive danger?
Massively, especially, you know, because it makes you not give up. I don't want to be mean to people who are comfortable, but it kind of makes you, you know, if you're just comfortable, you kind of don't really kind of, you know, think of something new or creative. You know, necessity is the mother of all invention. If you don't need anything, you don't invent anything, you know. So I'm always a big fan of bettering yourself in every way. So, you know, learning a new language or something, learning a skill.
You're going to learn Welsh, aren't you, mate?
Shall I?
I can't speak Welsh either, I'm Welsh. But my son's mother, he said, Mark, do you want to go to the Welsh class? I said, get them in there, because they can pick up other languages.
Totally, and it just changes the way your brain works, you know. And you know, I speak 2 other languages. Both of them are useless: Zulu and Afrikaans. I mean, like I've never spoken them in 15 years, but it makes your brain work slightly differently, and that's good.
How the heck did you learn Zulu, mate, and why?
I grew up in Zululand in Africa.
Right.
Yeah, so I was, you know, surrounded myself in the Zulu tribal community because that's where I lived, and it's a necessity, you know. You have to learn it, otherwise you don't get by.
And when did you move to the UK? Because you got a little bit of a posh accent, mate. You got the wild man look, but I got a...
So the reason I have that is my business partner was from Jersey for 10 years. But I moved here 11th of February 2002. So yeah, but my family was from England and Ireland, so I have an Irish passport. But my gran was born in London, so I feel very British and English. So yeah, I mean, I kind of felt as if I should be in England, even throughout my childhood in Africa. You kind of, you know, you support the Queen, and you know, you just feel part of, you know, you sing British songs.
It's pretty cool. We've got a pretty cool country, haven't we?
This country's amazing. That's why I've done it 4 times, you know, in different ways, because every time it surprises me. I think, you know, I've done Land's End John O'Groats 4 times now. Surely I've seen it all, but no, every single time something surprises me.
Come on over to West Wales, mate. We'll have Sean in Pembrokeshire, definitely. Yeah,
I swam to Pembrokeshire on the swim, so I went from Devon across to Pembrokeshire.
But you were doing the swim, and now your plan of action was you swam from Land's End John O'Groats, but you thought on the way there, you just thought to myself, I'm just going to go to Ireland.
Yeah, I blame the Welsh beer because
the Welsh beer sent him off.
Yeah, there was there was a heavy night after we crossed the Bristol Channel, and that may have been a deciding factor, if I'm honest. But no, actually, logistically, weather-wise, it was the best choice, because you get into the shelter of Ireland, and then you don't have to do big crossings later, and then you're in Scotland. So
it wasn't that you just wanted to get away from Welsh people, mate.
Well, yeah, no comments again. Just kidding. I love you, Wales.
Biggest keys to success. Give me 3 big keys to success.
Passion, resilience, and stubbornness.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
What's the biggest enemy, if you like, of failure? What's the thing that will most likely make somebody fail? That's a good question, isn't it?
No, because there's
posh English person now.
No, there's loads of reasons, because you got to define failure. What is failure? You know, like, so when I got injured, attempting my first attempt to run Britain, you know, I got injured. So, you know, yes, I failed the attempt, but that was through injury. You know, so I had no control over that. And for me, I could have carried on. Yeah, I probably could have carried on in pain, and I could have been resilient, and I could have done loads of, you know, I could have made it, but I would have probably ruined my career as an adventure athlete, right? So, you know, there are some times where you just need to realize maybe it's time to tap out. You know, like in my old career, you know, I should have tapped out years before. So, you know, failure is not a black and white thing, because sometimes, you know, you should reevaluate. You know, if you're climbing a mountain and you get to an icy bit, you know, you can struggle for 5 years trying to climb up the slippery icy bit, whereas actually if you went down a bit across to the other side, there's no ice, and you climb up the other way, you're still going to get to the mountain, and you'll do it quicker by going backwards. So, you know, I wouldn't always think of failure as this big negative thing, because actually sometimes it you know, makes you refocus and find something else. But I think if you took out all external factors that you have no control over, I think people lose passion and give up too quickly, thinking that maybe their body or mind can't hack it. Whereas actually, if they'd carried on, they would have realized, wow, actually the human body and mind is a fascinating, incredible thing. You know, the fact that, you know, I'm 5'8", I wasn't very good at sport at school. You know, if I can do the length of Britain, swimming, cycling and running, then anyone can do anything. Honestly, trust me. If I can do it, you can do it, anyone can do it. So the problem is, I think people maybe give up too early, thinking they can't, whereas actually the reality is they can. So
basically from school, nobody thought that you were going to go on to be this famous
not even school, oh yeah, no. I mean, for 10 years I didn't join a gym, didn't do any sport, nothing, for my entire 20s. So I only started this when I turned 30.
It's incredible, mate, it really is. It's so crazy how we're just out here in the street and all that.
Just off Carnaby Street, it's lovely, it's Christmassy and festive.
It's just lovely.
In fact, if adventure doesn't work out for me, I could just be Santa.
You could be Santa, mate. You could be.
Shopping centre Santa deals. Yeah.
But you're going. I'm meeting my mate Sam Hardy. We're going to have a little walk around the Star Wars. The Star Wars premiere now coming up tonight. You're off to your Land Rover.
I'm off to Land Rover. Yeah. That should be a fun night.
It's all go. One of the things my mate Matt asked me, I got Matt, you might as well take the flaming interview, mate.
Same Matt, yeah. Where is he? Why is he not here?
Why is he not here? He's looking after diplomats in high places, but he's like, he wanted to be here. But we've had people coming up, asking Sean for his autograph, photos and stuff like that. So how do you handle that, you know, with people coming up to you saying, because you're very recognisable, mate. Very
recognisable. I don't do myself any favours. You know what, I love it, because actually I have this message of, you know, you can do whatever you want to do in life. You know, all the Greek philosophers all agreed on one thing. They disagreed on a lot, but they all agreed on one thing, that there should be a meaning or an end to life, and it should be called happiness, right? And I think we forget that. And I feel as slightly socially responsible, having found happiness, to try and help other people get happy and realize their capability and their true potential on this planet while we rent our space here for a very short time, right? So, you know, that's just part and parcel of it and coming my way. But, you know, I have to admit, I'm quite a private guy. You know, I live on my old boat on the River Severn and try and keep to myself. So, you know, it is quite strange for me, because all of a sudden in the last 6 months, really, I've been able to sit here and, you know, pick my nose and yeah, it's quite strange for me, because actually in the last 6 months it's gone a bit crazy. You know, I'm quite recognisable and get stopped in the street, but it's great because actually it means that my message is hopefully getting out there to people, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, mate. If that guy in the background is photobombing our shop, mate, have you ever seen a person interviewing you go and beat someone with a stick?
Nice, I like it.
I'm joking, mate.
It's great. We've got a few photo bombers.
Yeah. What's the who inspires you? In fact, I want to touch on what you just said there. Greek philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, stuff like that. Do you read much stuff like that, like them and Confucius and?
A little bit. I'm into Stoicism. The Stoic philosophers all agreed that we should all try and live consistently with nature. And if there's something out of your control, that shouldn't really affect your day-to-day happiness or enjoyment of life, you know, and that sort of thing. I don't agree with all of it. Well, I don't relate to a lot of Stoicism, but there's a certain huge element of it that is quite sort of resilient. You just get on with it, right? So I do enjoy reading up on it, but I'm not really into all those classic cheesy motivational one-liners and all that jazz.
Hey mate, I like this. I like the cheesy motivational one-liners.
No, it's great. Well, you know, it's just not my thing. But some people are quite visual and quite extrovert and bounce off other people's things. So, you know, if having a poster of something that you relate to on your wall gets you out of bed, then I'm all for it.
Got a poster of Cheryl Cole on my wall, mate. I
got a poster of a Land Rover Defender.
A Land Rover, Cheryl Cole versus a Land Rover Defender. Which one would you take? Mate, there's a lot of I'm involved with a lot of secrecy with all my friends in the special forces and stuff like that. Ollie and Foxy and Colin, all these guys. Now, I'm trying to get the secret to his next adventure. Is there any clue? Not gonna happen, mate. There's no.
Yeah. Okay. The clue, right? So a normal Ironman takes what, like 12 hours, 15 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of the guys down in Pembrokeshire, because it happens in Tenby there, it's like a lot of the guys 12, 13, 14 hours.
Yeah. So I've got one plan that takes 3 months.
A 3-month Ironman.
And it's all self-supported, so yeah.
Now you're going to be in the sea a lot, mate, so I assume you're getting your protein from jellyfish, is that right?
Plankton, mate. Plankton, this is what this is for. Just like hoovers up plankton as I go along.
Do you think that you will keep the beard and everything for a while?
Yeah, I'm too lazy to shave. Yeah.
Is it itchy, mate? 'Cause I'm starting to get
no, you're at the itchy stage though.
Oh, just go back.
Yeah. No, you leave it. You just need to leave it for like another month, and then you'll be fine.
I tell you what, mate. The next time I do an interview with you, we gotta shoot off. Not because I'm too busy, because this man is the busy man, right? But the next time I interview you, I'll make sure I've got a huge beard like you.
You better, mate. Mine's going to be touching the floor.
Mate, Sean how can people see your stuff?
You know what? Instagram. I like Instagram. Let's go with Instagram. That's my favourite sort of social media platform. I used to be a photographer, so I like doing stuff. Conway_Sean on Instagram. Go there. That's the fun one. Yeah.
Go to Sean Conway on Instagram, and I tell you what, Sean has been so nice. He signed a book here. So it is Hell and High Water. Look at that. Yeah. Can you see this man coming out like a superhero? He's like a superhero coming out of the water. So we're going to do a competition. My little baby boy Leon is going to pick the winner of that. So if you click on the like button, I'll put you in the draw, and then he randomly clicks. So
Great. Love it. Yeah.
But I think that's everything, mate. I think that's everything I got for you. Sean Conway, it has been an absolute honour.
Thank you, mate.
And a pleasure, mate.
Thank you very much.
Come on, bring it in. Thanks very much, mate.
Catch you later.